Louis is a first-time caller out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Louis, welcome to
Good
the
morning,
show.
Jesse.
Hey, Louis.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can.
How are you?
All is well. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Jesse, I've been listening to you for a while now, and I wanna thank you for when I heard the message about anger and forgiveness and stuff like that. It really has changed my life a lot. Um, yeah, I want to thank you for that.
You're welcome,
But
buddy. Stay with it. Stay with it.
yeah, I will. I will. Um, Look, I've also heard you a lot talking about moving out and living our own lives and becoming individuals and stuff like that. And I'm 20 years old right now, and I've been thinking about, or I know that's something that I want to do is move out and kind of separate myself from the home and the people in my home and stuff.
Right now, you're living with your parents?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
yeah. So you know, I talked to my father about moving out, and it seems to me like when I talk to him about it, and he told me he moved out when he was 27, and it didn't seem like there was a lot of encouragement to go out, rather to like wait and I guess like save up or prepare or whatever. But it seems like it's right to just go, but I have a lot of doubt about how like how I'm gonna sustain myself and stuff like that. So I wanted to ask how I can get over that.
You have doubt about how you're going to be able to take care of yourself?
Yeah, and just transition from the life that I've been living, being at home and stuff,
So,
to being on my own.
while growing up, your parents didn't teach you to be responsible. They didn't let you do little things around the house, and they didn't prepare you to get a job when you turn 18.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've been working. I do work, and I have two jobs right now, and they've had me do yard work growing up a lot, and doing my dishes and
So, why are you
stuff like that.
concerned that if you move out, you get your own place, nothing expensive, but something you can afford and decent, and you have a job? Why can't you? You think you're not going to know how to pay the rent and buy food?
I, you know, I think I could, but it's just like a big change, I guess.
You don't pay rent now, living with your parents.
No.
Oh, and why don't you pay rent now, living with them? You're 20 something years old.
Um, I guess they just haven't asked it of me.
Do you think if they loved you, they would let you live there free?
No. I thought, when I talked to my dad, I thought, he would want me to go.
Yeah. Your father's a beta. Boo!
When I told you I was still living at home, I was expecting you to call me one too.
Well, I'm getting there. I'm,
All right.
I'm just trying to understand why are you have two jobs. You're
Yeah.
20 something years old. All you're gonna be doing is paying your own bills. You pay your own way. You're gonna go to work. You're gonna buy food when you're hungry. You're gonna pay the rent when it's due. You're gonna buy a car when you need one. Why are you afraid of that?
Well, I think I'm believing thoughts about it.
And
I'm
I
sorry.
was going to ask, who is telling you that you're not going to make it?
Hmm. Well, I am starting to see, um, if I didn't want to have these thoughts, I would have stopped having them a long time ago. So like,
Right.
I know I'm starting to understand that it's something else driving me.
So who is telling
Um,
you that you're a grown man, but if you move out of your mama's house, you're not going to make it? Who's telling you that?
I guess Satan.
And you guess, or you is it possible that somebody else is telling you besides him?
Nobody's told me that. Like another person
And so where are you
hasn't
getting
told
those
me that.
ideas from then?
My imagination.
And why? And are you your imagination?
No,
So why are you listening to it?
I don't know.
You say you're 22?
20.
20. What is it like being at home at 20 and you're a male?
Well, what's
Like,
it like?
like when you
You
wake,
know,
do you wake up in the morning you're like, oh, I'm 20, I'm still home? I,
something.
I am 20 and mama is making breakfast.
Breakfast is good.
Right. Mama breakfast is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, she's like, "Come on down to eat, son." Yeah, I mean, I can't say it feels good. I know it's, like I know there's something wrong with it, but well, no, but nothing. But I guess it's so common now that like there's like no shame in it. I think I could go around and tell anybody, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's okay. Like, take your time. No
that's
rush."
that's why you have to live your own world. You are your world. You're not other people's world, and they're not your world. Because most people know they love being that way. They love being miserable, right? And they're not going to grow up. But then you can be different. You can grow up. You can be independent. You can be in
Yeah,
control of your own world. You don't have to
yeah,
fit in with the crowd. The crowds are losers. That's why they are crowds, because they can't think and do. They have no courage. They have no love.
yeah. I really do want to separate myself from that.
When you ask your father why did he love you enough to make sure that when you turn 18 you'll be able to go out on your own, what did he say?
I didn't ask him that specifically, but I brought up the idea going, of leaving home because just because it's something I've started to see that does need to happen. Because if not now, then when?
I
Um,
remember when I was growing up, even after I became an adult, and if you stay home past 18 or 19, the parents they start to get irritated at you. They hate seeing you coming in for lunch, and
yeah,
they don't want you. They're like, you need to get out of here. You get on my nerve.
right.
They hate
Yeah, no,
seeing
they seem.
grown people laying around.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they seem rather happy that I'm still home
They
because my
don't.
family because we're Hispanic, so like we have this really big family, and you know, they're all about, you know, like the family being like super close. Like they're all into that.
But that's what
And
all mamas do in all cultures. Mama makes sure that you stay home. Mama makes sure that the family is together. It's another form of control. Your mother is evil and she
yeah,
loves control.
yeah, yeah. I'm starting to see the lack of love.
They have no love for you, period.
Yeah, I saw that a good bit ago.
And what was it like to see it? When you saw it, how did you feel seeing it?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I, I think I might have already knew that for like a while, but like when I heard you say it, I guess it kind of confirmed it. You know, um, but as far as how it felt to like really see it, I mean, by the time I saw it and knew it to be true, it wasn't really that big of a deal.
I got you. Okay. Hold on
Like it
for a
was
minute.
just
Let me take a quick
yeah.
break. Let me go quickly back to Louis out of first time caller out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. So Louis, I want you to ask your father why didn't he, with those exact words. Dad, why didn't you or whatever you call him, why didn't you
Mhm.
love me enough to make sure I was prepared to leave home at 18 or 19? And listen to what he said. It'll be interesting to find out why, especially the father. Now, I know the mothers keep you at home because they want to control you, and not just in the
Mhm.
Mexican community, but everywhere, all mothers. But ask your father why did he allow that to happen? Why did he love you enough to prepare you? Just to see what he says.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
I'll ask my father.
and so, do you date?
Not a lot, you know. Every now and then I'll go on a few dates, but it's not frequent.
And when you do date, do they know you live at? They're like, okay, I want to come over your house. You like, no.
I
Do
don't even ask.
you say no? I can't come over your house. I mean, you can't come over my house. Cause my mama, I live with my mama.
Yeah, I don't really ask them to come over
Do you ask them?
my
Could you?
parents are out of town.
Oh, you like come over my house? My parents are out of town.
It's happened. It's
What a
happened.
beta!
Yeah, there it is.
So
But yeah, that's happened.
really? You said come over. You can come over my house. My parents are out of town.
Yes.
And have you ever asked the girl, can you go to her house?
Um. Well, yeah, not really her house, but like if she's in college, then I've just gone over to her dorm.
What a beta.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And when
I'm
you
starting to see
ask,
that now.
so what?
I said I'm starting to see that, like the beta.
You're a beta.
Yeah.
Oh! And so when you ask, that is, I understand, but it's crazy.
Hmm.
Did it feel good to say my parents are out of town? Come on over.
Um, I don't know if I really felt anything about it.
Oh, I see.
I
Because
was
it's
just
a
like,
norm to you, huh?
yeah, it was really just it's just so normal now. Like, oh, like I'm at my mom's house.
And so, are you going to live your life the normal way, or are you going to take on the world?
I think it's time to do it the other way.
It
The
really
right way.
is, man.
Yeah.
So, your question
Yeah.
for me is what right now?
Well, that was, yeah, I guess I wanted to know how to get over that and just do it. Like, I don't know how to just do it. you know.
Would
But
you have money to save up? You have two jobs already. Just don't rush into this. Just know now that you want to move out. You got to move out. And then
yeah,
take your time and find a little place you like to live in for a while. And then eventually you'll be able to buy your own place, buy your place, but find a place you want to live in and go start living. Pay your rent, something you can afford. Don't get anything too expensive. Uh, and then just start taking care of yourself. Pay your rent, buy your own food.
right.
But have you forgiven your parents for doing this to you?
Yes,
You told them?
yeah.
And what did they say?
Well, I I actually I went up to both of them. It was pretty scary, man. Uh, because it was both of them there, like me and then them two sitting across from me, and I just forgave them both right there. And like, I was like struggling with like some depression and stuff, and like I was like really insecure and anxious a lot. I was just like, I was just like really, I guess, like really in a fallen state, like
Yeah.
real, like you know, um, and it was crazy because like within like 2 weeks of hearing your message about forgiveness, because like I hadn't even seen you, like, and then I just stumbled upon you, and I heard it. I heard what you were saying about anger and forgiveness, and I just knew, like, I'm really glad that I was as angry as I was because it was so apparent to me. Like I was like foaming at the mouth nearly every day,
Yeah.
and it was so apparent. And like I'm grateful for that because like for some people it may not be so easy to see that they're angry. So I saw it like just like that, and I was like, wow, like I'm like furious, like at all times nearly. It seems like. So within 2 weeks of hearing your message about forgiveness, I was like, wow, like I do need to do that. So yeah, I did go up to them and both at the same time, and my mom, I told him, like I told my mom I was angry at her for, because she has a lot of anger,
Of course.
like growing up, and like the anger was put upon me a lot. I think I was kind of like the problem child in my family, so like there was like a lot of it was like directed at me, and they had a lot of frustration and impatience with me, and so I forgave my mom for that because I did. This was also around the time I was starting to understand that there's like other spirits driving us
Yeah.
to do it because So I finally saw like just how angry I was, and like I couldn't stop myself from being angry. Like I finally like understood that they couldn't stop themselves. Even though they probably didn't mean to do it like that,
When
but it
you
happened like that.
what did they say when you forgave them? You told them that. What did they say?
Yeah. So my mom got upset.
Oh, those
She
Mexican
didn't like.
moms are nasty, man.
I know.
Oh my God.
Tell me about it.
And I know, so you
And,
know.
and like she got upset, and like she wanted to like go outside and like step away, to like get some fresh air or something. And I told her not to run because like it was like important that we like talked, or we had like the conversation about it and stuff. And yeah, I told my mom, she reacted pretty upset, and she was like sad. She didn't want to like feel culpable for like me being depressed or like
Yeah.
angry. You know what I mean? And then I told my dad, I forgave my dad because like he didn't correct her, or didn't like stop her from doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
And what did
and
he
my
say?
dad had some. Well, my dad, he's a very like intellectual person. So like he was trying to explain that like they're not perfect and stuff, and I understand, but like he was trying to say like, oh, like like we're not perfect, and like we tried the best we could. He was probably talking for at least like 20 minutes. I don't even remember what he said. I just
Amazing.
had to wait.
What I want to tell you is that the reason you were a problem child because you became like your mother. And when they would see you acting out, she was looking at herself, but she wouldn't admit that it was her. And she blamed you for your actions when it really was the spirit that's in her had made a home in you, and you became like what you hate.
Right.
That's why you're the problem child, because you were the same spirit that your mother would pass on to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
I recommend, do what you want, but I recommend you stay with the silent prayer, just work on you, and take your time and find a place to live, and start, go out and do your own thing. Be safe out there. It's a mean world. Watch out the people you hang out with, but you're not going to grow up until you take on the challenges of life. And a man grow when he deal with the issues in life. He does not grow when he stay home with mama. He become depressed. He becomes suicidal. He become angry. He become lost. He become lonely. He get worse because the spirits are taking over you more so when he stays at home with mama. He stay into his evil. He doesn't overcome it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
So it's time to go. It's cool that you're working. You have 2 jobs. You can afford to take care of yourself. It's time to go and take on the challenge. And don't worry about if it's going to work or not going to work. You go and just live moment by moment. Every day is a new day. Just live moment by moment. Don't worry about what's going to happen. And let life happen for you. It will happen for you.
Yeah. I've noticed too, like even after the forgiving and doing the silent prayer, I do remember when I first started out, I did miss a few mornings, when I was starting out, I was like late for work or something, but I've been with it for a minute now. I think since about April. But I've noticed like there's still like I guess like it's like what you're saying is true about staying at home with mama. Like it's not like things like the load has gotten lighter, but like I guess just staying at home is kind of hindering.
It is. You're not facing the world. You're not overcoming the challenges of life. You're not growing up. And if you stay home for too long, you won't be able to get out after a while. I know men who are in their 60s and they're at home with mama. And I know men who the mothers have died and they still can't leave and they can't function because they hate the mother so bad. And because they stay home with her, they didn't develop at all. Now they don't know what to do with themselves now that mama is dead.
Wow.
They don't know what to do because they never developed. They never went out. See, they never went out and faced the issues of life. God put inside of all of us the ability. I use that word. The ability to deal with the issues of life, because He wants us to go out and become sons of God. He wants you to grow, so He's giving you the way to do that if you just go and do it. But because Mama God is Satan, Satan is encouraging her not to let you do it. Keep him with you to make sure he doesn't grow. And not just Mexican mamas. All mamas are like that. All colors of mamas are like that.
Yeah.
So go live your life, man. And whatever vices and things that you're dealing with, don't worry about that. Don't get into that. Don't think about that. Don't judge yourself about it. Now that you're becoming aware, you watch those things. If you want to hit a joint, or if you want to do this and do, watch it, but don't call it you. Don't do anything about it. Don't get mad. Don't say, poor me. It will be taken away from you because it is not you. It's in the mind and emotion, but it's not you.
Right.
The observation, the observing of it, the seeing of it will take it away from you because it's just part of your evil nature. That nature of Satan is not you.
I see.
All right?
I'm with you.
Amazing. I got to run, man, but call me and update me as to how things are going for you.
Absolutely, Jesse. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome, man. Stay with us, stay with us, stay with it.
I will. God bless you.
You too, buddy. Thank you.